Hello, I'm Philip Konopka, Ag Agent in Lewis County.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Konopka, Ag Agent in Carter County, and welcome to Around the Farm. Today we're going to be talking about pesticide safety, and this is important whether you're spraying your flower beds, your garden, or a 100-acre field. It's always important to know what you're spraying. We often get calls with people asking, is it safe for me to eat my vegetables, or can I replant my garden now, or is it safe for my cattle to re-enter my pasture field? The first question we're going to ask you is, what did you spray? Because all of our chemicals have different modes of actions. Some have residuals, some don't. And without knowing what you've sprayed, it's impossible for us to tell you whether or not it's safe to replant or for your cattle to graze.
That's a great point. All the information can be found on the back of these products, on the labels.
And we're not endorsing any of the products that you see here. These are just some common examples of chemicals that you may use around your home, garden, or farm.
Some important information you need to keep track of is the name of what we're spraying, the active ingredient, and if you look below the label, it will say active ingredient. And for example, this one is 2,4-D and dicamba for weed control. We also want the EPA registration number, and it will be located on the label as well. We also need the amount and the day you sprayed it, because a lot of times it depends on when you spray it if it's safe to re-enter. A lot of products, if you read the label, will have what they call a harvest interval. It has to wait X amount of days before you can harvest your produce to eat it. Okay, that doesn't mean spray it today, pick it this afternoon, sit it in the windowsill, and wait 3 or 4 days, whatever the label specifies. That means it has to stay on the plant and the environment has to break the pesticide down. It's also important to be safe around pesticides. Get you a pair of leather gloves and a pair of safety goggles. So we don't want, the most dangerous time handling pesticides is when they're in the concentrated version like this and we're mixing them. When you figure out what pesticides you need to control your problem that you have, which considers proper identification of your problem, so feel free to contact us at the extension office to help you with that. You're going to go to the store, you got 2 options. You can get a concentrated version or you can get a ready to use version. And I realize that these are 2 different chemicals, but this is ready to use, it's already mixed. All I gotta do is open the bottle and squirt it. This one is concentrated. I've got to get a measuring cup, measure out how much per gallon I need, which is in the label, and put it in our sprayer and mix it up. It's always a great idea to check your sprayer, if it's not a new one, if it's a used one or an older one, filled up with water before you put your pesticides in there. It's always better to work with water than have chemicals in it. And again, anytime you're using a sprayer, make sure you use your gloves.
So just mix up the amount of product that you need to spray your problem area. Try not to mix up enough that you're going to leave your extras left over in a sprayer. And with that being said, if you do find some leftovers in a sprayer, make sure that you know exactly what you're spraying. You may think that there's an insecticide in there, and then you go out and spray it on your garden and find out that it was Roundup and you've killed everything. So make sure that you know exactly what you're spraying. Don't necessarily take some leftover chemicals from someone that you don't know exactly what it is. You want to make sure that you've got access to that label and you know what product you're spraying on your crops. Remember to properly store pesticides to where small children, pets, and other animals may not access them. For more information on pesticide safety, feel free to check out UK's Extension Entomology website. Once you've used your chemicals up, there are programs called rinse and return programs that will allow you to recycle your containers. You'll need to triple rinse the container, and so you can do that just by mixing it in with your spray that you're spraying on your crops or your field. And then you're going to remove the label as best you can and throw away the lid. And then you can drop those off at your local rinse and return drop-off sites for recycling. If you're not going to participate in a rinse and return program, you still want to triple rinse your containers and dispose of them properly. So you don't want to burn them or leave them out, around your property somewhere. You want to go ahead and throw them away in the trash. If you have questions about chemicals or pesticides, feel free to contact your local county extension office for more information.